So I asked y'all on my community feed a few days ago to give me some interesting chapter 6 hot takes, and y'all did not disappoint. This is my first time doing something like this on the channel. I feel like it was a cool idea to get more of my community involved in my videos. If anything, I'll probably do this kind of thing like once a month. So if you enjoy this kind of thing and want to see me do this more in the future, then hit that like button. That's the easiest way to let me know how y'all feel about it. So chapter 6 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is set to drop on January 18th, which is literally like next week. So that means the chapter is going to leak sometime around the 14th, no later than the 16th. That's usually how it goes anyway. I think this is a good time to see what y'all boys is cooking up. So let's get into it. So chapter 5 ended with Boruto just meeting up with Sumire and Sarada. I mean, they were saying their hellos and all that. It's been 3 years since they've seen each other. So I'm pretty sure chapter 6 is gonna start off with them just talking it out, what's going on in the Leaf Village, stuff like that. But I asked y'all what's gonna happen after that, or something that's gonna happen in chapter 6. So let's see what y'all said. Okay, so we got the first comment that said, Mitsuki spying on Kawaki due to his suspicions. Kakashi coming back after hearing about Naruto. If Jura is Jigen, Kawaki gets visions of Jura since they can be connected. Okay, so I ain't gonna lie, I do mess with the Mitsuki part because we gotta remember in chapter 1, Mitsuki did seem kind of conflicted about Kawaki. He questioned if he was really his son, because even though Omnipotence made everyone think that Boruto is Kawaki and vice versa, Mitsuki still has those memories of Boruto in his past. They're just now replaced with Kawaki instead of Boruto. But how Boruto treated him, that doesn't change at all. And you can see on the panels right here. Kawaki just tells him to get away from him and stop following him like a sick freak. I mean, I do feel like he is questioning himself, but it's gonna take a little bit more for him to come to the realization that his memories are being altered. I do think Mitsuki has the necessary capabilities to overcome Omnipotence just like Amato does, but I think he'll have to actually get around Boruto and see how Boruto acts to really come to that conclusion. Because like I said, if anybody's gonna mess up this Omnipotence thing, it's gonna be Kawaki himself. Because even though everybody thinks Kawaki is Boruto, Kawaki doesn't act like Boruto, alright? So he's naturally gonna raise suspicion, raise heads, even if it is a little bit. And now you have to take into effect that Amato has overcome it completely. So if you have Amato's word and then Kawaki's still acting strange, something's definitely up. And Kakashi coming back, I keep telling y'all this over and over again. That man is at a hot spring somewhere. That man is retired. He ain't coming back. Nah, but for real, I heard that some people say he's looking for Sasuke or looking for clues about where Sasuke is. I mean, I wouldn't write that out the question, because we gotta remember Sasuke did go rogue one time. So Kakashi actually looking for Sasuke is not out the ordinary. But I don't believe Kakashi actually thinks Sasuke just went rogue for the same reasons again. I trust him to have the IQ to come up with the conclusion that, okay, something is terribly wrong and it's not just Sasuke just acting on his own free will again. But I wouldn't mind seeing Kakashi again, bro. I think he deserves to be in the story. Not a significant role, but just seeing him here and there will suffice. And the thing about Jura, I mean, if he is Jigen, the thing that'll let us know if Jura is a Jigen clone is if Kawaki sees him and the feel of the chakra seems familiar to him. That will trigger the visions, because we all know Kawaki has PTSD. So that right there is triggering the visions. But I'm not gonna go too deep into that question because I think I already addressed it into one of my earlier videos. If you guys wanna go check that out, it's gonna be on the screen right here. And I'm gonna leave it in the description below. So go ahead and leave a like, you know, say go check that video out. Okay, next question. I think Kawaki and Mitsuki will try to gang up on Boruto and Sarada. Sarada will try to get through to them. Mitsuki will listen, probably because his suspicions are already there, but Kawaki is gonna try to keep going. Shikamaru will step in and hear Boruto out because he suspects his memory has been tampered with, and maybe Amato will get confronted for conspiring and not telling the whole truth again. I mean, I think it's unfair to just assume Amato is conspiring because we don't have enough proof to prove he's not telling the whole truth. So I don't think that's fair to him. I mean, he just realized his mind was being altered in chapter 5. But the thing is, now that Amato has realized that he's under omnipotence, he could study and see how the power works and kind of analyze it to not necessarily come up with a way to reverse it, but to give us more information on it and just to learn how it works. That's what I want to know. Like, I want to know how it works, how the power works, what's the secrets behind it, and then we can finally figure out how to reverse it. Because if you want to find out how to stop something, you have to find out from the roots, like how it works, what activates it, and I think Amato will uncover that. But yeah, I seen y'all watch the video. I seen y'all watch the chapter 6 video, man. A lot of y'all agree with me, man. Kawaki and Mitsuki are gonna pull up on Boruto and Sarada. Mitsuki is gonna want to start throwing hands. Probably Kawaki too, because he does want Boruto unalived. So I do agree with this. Although, Mitsuki listening, I don't know. A bloodlusted Mitsuki, he wasn't listening to Sarada before. And Kawaki's just gonna play along. Because at that point, why listen to anything that Boruto has to say? So with both of them not listening, Boruto is gonna have two options. He's either going to have to restrain one or both of them to force them to listen, because even if you think there's nothing that Boruto can do to make Kawaki stop trying to unalive him, he has to tell him about the Shinju. And already right there, that's going to pique his interest. So I believe all you have to do is tell them about the Shinju. I don't know if that's going to stop Mitsuki, but it's going to stop Kawaki. But the thing about it, if Kawaki isn't trying to catch no smoke with Boruto, Mitsuki is gonna probably still listen, or at least respect Kawaki's wishes, because as far as we know, Mitsuki still believes Kawaki to be his son. So if Kawaki just tells Mitsuki to chill out, he's gonna chill. Option 2, you probably just gotta hope Damon or somebody, maybe EIDA or Shikamaru, just intervenes in this whole confrontation standoff, so to speak, and gives them the rundown. Now if EIDA pops up, she's gonna tell them about the Shinju, their goals, and more importantly, that one of them is after Naruto. Kawaki's probably gonna start tweaking out, and then after that, he's gonna divert all his attention to protecting Naruto. Worry about Boruto later, because as you know, he's not an immediate threat to Konoha or his father anyway. Especially since we haven't seen Momoshiki since the series started, and I do expect to see him in chapter 6 very, very soon. So that's probably the best option for everybody, to hope EIDA pops up. EIDA gotta be the one that pops up, because if it's Shikamaru, I doubt it's gonna be Amato, so I'm gonna just say Shikamaru. Then he's gonna bring up the fact that his memories may be altered, and that's probably gonna put Kawaki in an awkward position, because it's like, oh, you might not be Naruto's son after all. So at that point, if we think Boruto is the one who unalived Naruto, but our minds have been altered, maybe it wasn't him after all. So I'm kind of like, you know, something's not adding up. Kawaki's going to be on a hot seat. And I have a lot of people in the community that thinks this is the reason why Kawaki crashed out and destroyed Konoha, was because everybody turned against him again. So he just had no choice. He had to make a tough decision. And then everybody started to get all scared, because if that's the case, then it's like, oh man, the series is moving faster than we thought. So how long is the series really going to be? But it's too early to come up with any conclusions like that. So let's just go with the flow for now, guys. Let's just not worry about that. Enjoy it while it's here. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. Boruto realizing that he can't save his parents and Naruto will die in front of him. Oh man. This is not gonna happen. Like, I don't think I have to go into why this is not going to happen. I mean, for one, there are plenty of ways Boruto can go about actually saving his parents. I mean, he just learned the Flying Raijin, and as we just found out, you can use Flying Raijin to teleport through dimensions. Again, this is just an example of another generation just adding on to an attack or a technique to make it even stronger. Like Naruto did with the Rasengan, and then he passed it on to Boruto, and Boruto made it even stronger. I mean, to be fair, teleporting through dimensions and all that really wasn't introduced into the story until like the war arc and all that. And even then, it was still probably like foreign, because it was only used by OTSUTSUKI. The closest thing to Shinobi using it was, I guess, Kamui. So yeah, that's not a regular Shinobi technique. That's some OTSUTSUKI level technique. So Boruto is probably the only Shinobi that you can expect to be able to do that. Besides Sasuke, of course, because we know he has the 6 Tomoe Rinnegan, or did have it. The only thing I could see really happening to Naruto is if he gets absorbed by Jura, and even then that outcome is really unlikely. I mean, I was going to make a video on like a what if scenario if like Naruto got bit and became like a Shinju or something similar to Sasuke's situation. How strong would that Shinju be? Because let's say they do have the same abilities as the person they're absorbing chakra from, and Naruto just has like, take Kurama out the equation, he still has large chakra reserves because of him just being a Uzumaki. So it wouldn't be crazy to say like his Shinju clone wouldn't have the same thing, on top of having like 10 tails levels of chakra. So at that point he could just start spamming Rasengans whenever he wants to. Like, I'm talking massive Rasengans out the blue, shadow clones, 1,000 shadow clones as each one of them has like a massive Rasengan. Just to give you a vague idea of how strong I think he'll be. I mean, cause if we look at the fact that Bug, who was not even a shinobi, his claw grind was able to blitz Boruto and knock him back into a wall, completely shattering it. And like, let me remind you, like, it's Bug. Bug is not a fighter whatsoever, not a shinobi. So if we take that into effect, then how strong is guys like Hidari or Jura? Not to mention Matsuri. So it's like, come on, bro. Let's be for real right here. Like, even though if Boruto and the Bug Shinju clone was just to fight one-on-one, Boruto would win pretty easily. But when we talking about Hidari and all of them, like Bug versus Damon, Hidari versus Sarada, it gets more interesting. It definitely gets more interesting. And if you guys want to see the matchups of those fights and how I think it'll go, check out this video right here. I go over every matchup, every fight that we can hope to see and analyze it. Hopefully we'll start seeing more action by chapter 7. But yeah, if you're interested in that, go check it out. Okay, so next question says, we will see Sakura and Kakashi in action again. Kishimoto will get rid of them for sure. I do think we'll see Sakura again. The funny thing is, her husband is just gone again. No explanation as to why. Well, maybe Sarada told her, but it's like, yo, we didn't even get a panel to show her reaction or nothing. Like, he just completely written out the story. I don't think we'll see either of them anytime soon, but it would be cool to get their kind of like reaction to what's going on in the Leaf Village right now. Like, Sasuke's gone, Naruto's gone. Like, where are these guys? You know, like, where's my Team 7 comrades right now? What is going on? But yeah, I don't think we see either of them be unalived anytime in this series. Okay, we got some powerful predictions right here. Bug stomps EIDA. If you got Bug stomping EIDA, that means Bug beat Damon. Let me know how many of you guys think like Damon can actually beat Bug. I mean, I go over it in my Konoha versus Shinju video, but just to go over it briefly, because I do elaborate way more in that video, Bug's only win condition is that when he attacks EIDA, he's not going to have any killing intent behind it. It's going to be purely off instincts. I mean, they're not human, so it's not like when he's blitzing her, he's gonna have intent to harm her. They explained it in the manga. The feeling to absorb their targets are completely instinctual. And Damon's power mainly works off intention, more specifically intention to harm. But we gotta remember, he can also reflect any attack if he's touching you. So he has to be touching Buggy to reflect an attack. So that's another condition for Damon to win. He has to be able to touch Buggy. But the argument here is like, okay, can Damon keep up with Buggy's speed? Probably. I mean, he's shown to be physically superior in every aspect to Code without his limiters. I mean, it is Code, by the way, and we know what Boruto did to Code, literally. Code had no chance to keep up with Boruto. The same Shinju we're talking about has shown to be able to blitz Boruto. And it's not like Boruto was off guard anyway, because before he was blitzed, he was still aware of Bug's presence. So at the end of the day, that is still a great feat. It's for sure going to be an interesting fight. So another one says Konohamaru beats Matsuri with help from Inochika. Like I said before, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, Moegi is a shinobi. If Bug is that strong and he's not even a shinobi, then Matsuri being a Moegi clone, he's just going to be that much stronger. And Moegi can use Wood style. So it's like, bro, alright, if their powers are just amped up that much because of them just being bits of the Ten Tails, at that point it's like, alright, can Konohamaru and Team 10 deal with like Hashirama levels of Wood style, maybe even surpassing it? Probably not. Your best hope is Konohamaru just been training these 3 years and comes up with some crazy transformation we have never seen. Because if he's anything like the Konohamaru who got negged by Jigen in base, then the fight's not gonna go how you guys think it is. Unless you guys think Shikadai, Inojin, and Chocho just got that much stronger throughout the time skip. But I doubt that. So they're obviously gonna need some help. Like, even all of them together, they're still gonna need help. Okay, here's the one that's probably the most controversial in the Boruto community. Sarada beats Hidari because of her Magekyo ability. Like I said, I'm not gonna go too deep into this because I elaborated it in the video. But like I said, Hidari is probably going to be the second strongest Shinju, being a Sasuke clone and all that, and yeah, y'all know how that goes. She's probably gonna need help. You better hope there's some type of limitations to how many of Sasuke's abilities that it could copy. And if it does have like his EMS abilities or is able to emit the Susanoo, then there's gonna be hella problems. Sarada's win condition is if her MS abilities are just completely broken. If not for that, she's probably gonna have to have Boruto assist her, because she just didn't outright show me enough feats to say, you know what, she could be Hidari, no problem. I mean, you could probably put her in that like elite Jonin / low Kage level at this point, but even then, that's probably nowhere strong enough to be able to beat these Shinju that probably have like OTSUTSUKI levels of power. So take it how you will. I mean, there's definitely some win conditions here, but most likely she's going to need some type of assistance. And Boruto's probably not going to let her fight alone just because of what Sasuke said to him before he went off and fought Code. Okay, so the last one is Naruto beats Jura with some new power up from the dimension he was in. So we're gonna say this, you're probably gonna have to come up with some scenario that Kawaki just lets Naruto out from the Daikokuten dimension. Or it's like, okay, maybe Jura brings him out himself and then they start fighting. I mean, that is a possibility as well. But what new power up can you expect Naruto to just come out and perform? Like, he doesn't have Kurama anymore. If you want to base that new power up based on like a new enhanced Sage mode, then you could probably make up a scenario where he has like a 6-path Sage mode power up or something like that. I heard a lot of people say like he's gathering nature energy in a timeless dimension, but at the same time it's like, all right, you need a source of nature energy to gather nature energy, right? I don't really get that theory. All it is really just speculation. However, I do think even though he's not physically conscious, he is mentally conscious, because we have seen like time and time again in Naruto, especially in the war arc, where people are not conscious, but they are mentally conscious. For an example, I'm gonna say like when Sasuke and Naruto were on the brink of death, and then you can see they were shown talking to Hagoromo, and then they just came out stronger than ever. Or it's like when Pain unalived Kakashi, and he was shown talking to his father, or when Kakashi was talking to Obito. You can use that example as if like being mentally conscious, even though your body is in a state of like temporary suspension. So you guys do have a point when it comes to that. But I believe the closest thing we can get to that, or what Kishimoto might do, is like if he makes Naruto aware of the events that was going on in Konoha while he was sealed in the timeless dimension. Therefore, when he gets like released, he'll be up to date sort of what's going on and what's the current situation through Kawaki, so to speak. But like in the terms of like having a power up, I don't know about that one. I'm sorry. Okay, so next question. I think we may see Kashin Koji again preparing with Boruto. Oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie, this guy's cooking with this one. Because before Boruto retreated, Kashin Koji was telling him to like, yo, retreat, we gotta come up with a new plan. So it's sort of like Boruto just goes back to Konoha, and then maybe Kawaki and Mitsuki chase him out the village again. He goes meets up with Kashin Koji, and then when Boruto's gone, EIDA gets him up to speed about the Shinju and their targets about something, or you know, Shikamaru, whoever, and then boom, now they start to like accept Boruto, like, all right, we definitely gonna need his help. Kashin Koji and Boruto come up with a new plan to take him down. Or maybe, yeah, we could see like Kashin Koji and Amato coming together. We could see them reunite, something like that. And they can get each other up to speed on the certain situations. But however you look at it, I do see like the focus of the story shifting from like Boruto being the main bad guy. Oh, dang, we gotta get Boruto and unalive him because he did so many bad things to the Hokage, and then he left the village and all that. I don't want to say it's gonna go away, but it's gonna be on the back burner from now. The energy is going to shift mainly to the Shinju starting next chapter because of how significant a threat they are. So I don't expect Konoha to just reject Boruto for too much longer, especially when they like dead have the evidence, the solid evidence that their memories are altered, meaning there's something up. So Kashin Koji appearing again, I definitely see that next chapter. Okay, so this one isn't like a hot take, but I've seen a lot of people asking this question when the anime's coming back. So I'm gonna just give like a realistic prediction of when the Boruto anime's coming back. And I'm gonna probably say like end of 2024, early 2025. And even when the anime does come back, we're not getting two Blue Vortex because we still got like, I think 10 or so chapters to go over. Not a lot of chapters, maybe like 5 to 10 episodes at most. Because when we left off, Kawaki just got out the hospital from being defeated by his own blast. Then he confronted Boruto. So it's like Cole gotta come back to the Leaf Village and look for Amato to get his limiters removed. And then we gotta have the whole thing about EIDA and Damon coming to Konoha. And then the prophecy arc begins. And then Kawaki sealing Naruto. Therefore, yeah, all that. We gotta go through all that. So, I mean, it's probably 5 to 10 episodes, It's not gonna be that long. And then we can get into Two Blue Vortex. If you're gonna ask me when that's dropping, I don't know. I can't even give you a timetable on that. Hopefully it just keeps going into Two Blue Vortex. Maybe to take like a month break or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, when the anime does come back, we'll still be on Boruto Part 1. So I don't know about Two Blue Vortex. We got a comment that says those human Shinju are not that strong as others are trying to make them. That's a bold take. That's a really bold take. Because we've seen what the weakest one can do. And like I said, the weakest one was able to pressure Boruto. He can't win against Boruto, but he was able to pressure them. And multiple of them ganging up on Boruto was able to force him to retreat. And that's without the strongest one fighting. So I don't know. I do believe they're strong, at least matching Jigen levels of strength. And you wouldn't call Jigen weak at all. So I don't know. I'm gonna say at their absolute ceiling, I would compare them to Ishiki in terms of raw power. I mean, let's just stay safe right here and say like, all right, they're at least OTSUTSUKI level. I guess that's pretty safe to assume. Damon loses to the Shinju. Why y'all want to see Damon lose so bad, man? I mean, it would be interesting to see like, all right, what does Damon look like going all out, or how does he handle adversity? Because it's definitely not going to be a walk in the park, either way you look at it. I mean, these Shinju opponents are perfect for Damon because he can't just out hack him. But I'm not gonna go over it again. The only questions that need to be asked for Damon is if he can keep up with them speed wise, and does he have the necessary AP to be able to take one down? Because we've seen he is physically strong. He is strong as hell. Being able to smash Code into the ground with relatively no difficulty at all. So if he can't use the hack, can he just hit a stronger opponent, probably much more durable than Code, hard enough to put it down for good? And the last one we got, Boruto punks Mitsuki while also showing mercy, leading to Shikamaru being the diplomat he's supposed to be. EIDA starts talking now that she's in the hot seat. Kawaki/Amato gets put in the hot seat, but not figured out yet. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be put in the hot seat now that like Shikamaru knows the truth to everything, or Amato kind of like exposed them. I don't think Amato's going to be on the hot seat per se, maybe EIDA, because I trust like Amato or Shikamaru to put two and two together to realize their memories being altered kind of has a similar connection to EIDA's power, or you would hope for them to make that connection. And if they do, then yeah, both of them are going to be on the hot seat for sure. About the Boruto Mitsuki thing, I mean, all right, do y'all think Boruto is just going to go all out on Mitsuki, his friend? His close friend since they were little? Do you think he just gonna, you know what, Mitsuki, I'm just gonna destroy you? I think if they was to fight, Boruto would try to protect himself, of course, but it would be probably more to restrain Mitsuki other than just to outright destroy him. I think if they do fight, it does get interrupted by either like Damon or somebody, or let's say like EIDA pulls up and wants to tell them about the situation, but they're still fighting, so she just tells like Damon to break it up, and he just does that, reflecting both of their attacks and just sends them flying in the opposite directions. I definitely see that happening. I think that's the closest to like a fight we'll get between those two. So yeah, I think that's enough for this video. A lot of you guys left a lot of good questions, and a lot of them I answered in previous videos. So yeah, if you want to, make sure you guys go check those videos out that I shared in this video. And yeah, shout out to everyone who gave their hot takes, really interesting opinions in the community. If you want to see me do something like this in the future, then show some support, because I actually like doing this with y'all. If y'all agreed or disagreed with a specific take, let me know in the comment section. Or if it was something I stated that you want to comment on, go right ahead. But anyway, like I said before, we'll definitely be going live for chapter 6. I hope I didn't say chapter 6 and I'm at chapter 5. But yeah, we'll be going live for chapter 6, not for the official release, but for the leak. So that's around like maybe the 14th or the 15th. So yeah, just subscribe and turn on the noti bell. The leaks usually drop at like 2, maybe 1 or 2 a.m. So just be ready around that time, man. And if you want to join the subcord, I'm going to leave the link to that in the description below as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And without further ado, I'm out. Peace.